Happy Thursday. My name is Art. Welcome back to another video. For some reason this week I've been very creative. In other words, the creative juices are flowing. I have an idea of making videos. Sometimes I want to create 3 videos in a day, and then I just spam everybody. And some days I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. Some weeks I might not even do one video because I don't have the energy or the gumption or whatever to do it. And sometimes I'm like, hey, I got something to talk about. Okay, so what happened was, one of the big updates is I bought a PS4 Pro. Yes, finally. Yes, I'm super late to the party. I have a TV up. I have a TV in my room. It's 15-inch. Try to hook it up. Nothing. Blank screen. Did all the unplugging and everything else, and it still didn't work. And I was like, well, you know what? Maybe it's broken at first. I said, well, you know what I'm going to do? Well, we have a 30-inch TV downstairs in the den. And technically, no one really watches TV in that den room. It's technically empty. For example, right now, besides me being down there, because I hooked it up down there, and yes, it works down there. So that means that if I want to play with my PS4 Pro in my room here, I have to upgrade my TV. For example, my niece on there a lot to watch her stuff. Nice glitch. My mom watches TV downstairs when she's like downstairs doing stuff. Other than that, she's in her bedroom watching TV. Her husband's in the basement because it's cooler down there right now. Otherwise, he's in there, so no one's there. So I was like, hey, might as well just play downstairs in my bed. So I got it hooked up, set it up, and everything else, and now all of a sudden I'm gonna have to buy some games to keep myself occupied. And I have there's a lot of classic games that, like Altered Beast and Golden Axe, that I used to play when I was younger. But anyway, that's not what the video was about, but that's fine. Today, online, they debuted the PS5. And that son of a bitch looks like sweet Christmas. Man. It's like a regular version and a digital version. So I guess the digital version, you can just download all the games. There's no need for physical games. One other thing I like about the PS4, you could just download games instead of buying physical games, instead of having all the stack of games like this. Oh, switch it. I could just download a game and just play it. So that's cool. And I believe that the PS5 has backward capability, so any games I have downloaded on there, when I finally buy my PS5, I can transfer with no problem. Alright, good. Finito. My co-worker from my job, we was like chatting with each other while watching it at the same time. You know, obviously, he's at his house, I'm here. Okay. Social distancing. But anyway. Alright, so here's the thing. I read some books, and for some reason I was on a tear this week. I mean, I was like, man, it's time for me to read some books. I wanted to read some books. I'm like, reading them books. So let me tell you about what I read. Now, the thing is, I know some people might not be into the comic book thing, and that's fine. But the thing is, I'd rather be talking about this than talking about some woman that screwed me over, and I did all that stuff in the past. I'm trying not to talk about that stuff anymore. I do got a good story, but I probably won't even talk about it because I'm trying not to be negative. I try to be positive, man. Like this shirt is like glowing. It's like this white shirt is like looks like it's glowing on my end. I don't know what it looks like for you guys, but it looks like it's glowing. So here's the thing. So the first book I read was The Flash. The New 52 Era, The Flash, Volume 2. I bought this for $16.99. I think I paid full price. Yeah, I paid full price. Sometimes I go to a comic book store, and even if I don't find a comic I want, I'll buy a book just to keep the store open. And the funny thing is, the place where I bought this from closed within a month after I found the place. As soon as I found the place, they closed. Because not, it's a very hard business. But anyway, in this volume right here, I read volume 1. It was pretty cool. They kind of redid the Flash's story. This one's all about the rogues, all his bad guys. Captain Cold, the League of the Rogues, Golden Glider, his sister. I don't even know who that. Oh, that might be the top. Okay. Got Mirror Master right over here. Weather Wizard and Heatwave. Beginning of the book, he fights one of his great arch enemy, Killer Gorilla Grodd, who's a telepathic gorilla, who's one of the smartest people on the planet. So it's like a redone version. I'm glad the New 52 is over because it gets back to reality. This is like an alternate version. This whole New 52 basically happened was DC wanted to reduce. They wanted to boost life into their books instead of just saying, okay, let's try to get some better writers, do something different. No, we're gonna reboot the whole universe. So they used the Flash to reboot the whole universe, and I think it's the only two DC characters I like is Batman and the Flash. Sometimes Batman is too grim for me, and it's just like the Flash is a little bit more upbeat and sci-fi-ish, but that's kind of cool. So there was a series called Flashpoint where he goes back in time to save his mom and screws up time in itself and changes everything. They even did a storyline on that on the Flash TV show, which is kind of funny as well. But this book right here, I love the Flash, and so far I have not read a bad Flash story yet. After reading it for about 6 months so far. So, as you know, if I like the book, it gets placed on the bed. It gets placed on the bed. If I don't like the book, I just toss the shit. I don't care. This next book, hopefully you're watching this, Shelly Cakes, because after reading one of your replies, I was tempted to. I had to read this right now. I'm a big Star Wars fan. And what happens, of course, Disney owns Marvel. And so, I don't care what you think about the new movie, the new trilogy. I thought it was okay. I didn't say it totally sucked. I didn't say it was super awesome. It just like, okay, it's Star Wars. Okay, fine. Star Wars without the man who created it. Star Wars of people who had no clue what Star Wars is about, but even though they claim they love Star Wars, but that's okay. This is their alternative vision. But they started making Star Wars comics again, and this is Darth Vader, Volume 1. Now, what prompted me to buy this? Now, the funny thing, there's a YouTube channel called Star Wars Comics that takes every comic from Star Wars, Darth Vader, and they basically tell you the whole story. They basically go through the whole story from start to finish. They even show you artwork in the book, and sometimes they do sound effects and Darth Vader's voice, like that. This thing is pure. If you're a Darth Vader fan, like I am, of course, this book is for you. He's one of the most iconic evil people there are, and you can see what he does to keep that way, to keep number one. A lot of times he said, of course he's the apprentice to the Emperor. Emperor tells him to do this. He said, "Okay, I'll do this, but I'm going to do this right now." And then this story arc is how he, because remember if you saw The Empire Strikes Back when he tells Luke, "I'm your father." Everybody's trying to figure out how did he find out? How did he find out? Maybe it was the Force that told him. But guess what? This comic book, this series right here, he finds out that Luke is his son. And then the first 5 issues of the new Star Wars run, he meets with Luke and finds and Luke has his old lightsaber when he was Anakin Skywalker, and he's like, "Hey, I remember this," and he rescues it, and he's like, "Why does this kid have my old lightsaber? I don't understand." I don't understand why I just can't have my old lightsaber dead. One of the good things about this, Boba Fett makes an appearance in this comic. Boba Fett's the man. He finds out the guy who destroyed the Death Star. He reports it back to Vader. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, but that's okay. If you want to read it, you're going to read it anyway because it's Darth Vader. If you like it, he says, "Yeah, I know the rebel pilot who blew up the Death Star." Okay, his last name was Skywalker. Wow. And that's when you realize, oh my God, I have a son. And the funny thing is about it, he's like mesmerized, like, I have a son. The Emperor lied to me. He lied to me all this time. I have a son. Then now it's when he starts to plot to kill the Emperor and all this other stuff. Awesome read. Damn sinuses. Okay, this next comic is one. I wanted to read it, but I didn't want to read it because in a way it's kind of heartbreaking, but in a way it's so intriguing. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, this Vader book was $20, but I probably bought it. I think I bought it full price. I can't remember. But anyway, this one I bought full price when I found it because I wanted to read it. I didn't care. The Death of Wolverine. Yes, they actually killed off Wolverine. Years ago, about 4 years ago, they killed off Wolverine. The man that was supposed to be almost unkillable, they found a way to actually kill him. The back cover is like awesome looking. This book right here blew my mind. For $20, I bought this full price when I found it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to read this. Almost a year later, after I finally bought this, or maybe a year and a half, or I don't know, I finally bought it, I read it, I finished it last night, and I was stunned. And the way how he died out in a blaze of glory, and like a hero. Some people say, oh, don't spoil it for me. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Let's just say lots of famous people in the X-Men universe, well, not a lot, but some people show up. And it's kind of funny at the same time. But I definitely recommend this. If you love comic books and you think Wolverine's the shit, you want to read this. And of course, Wolverine came back about a year or two later. He's been back for like at least a year now. Of course, but anyway, can't keep a good man down, right? Last but not least is the granddaddy of the books I wanted to read. I still got about at least 20 or 30 books I haven't touched yet, but this one I wanted to. It was a very short read, but it was a very awesome read. Thanos, The Infinity Revelation by Jim Starlin. Yeah, this is $24. And I paid full price for this. I believe I did. Yeah, I think I did. Now, Who is Thanos? If you've seen any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies in the past 4 or 5 years, he was the big bad. If you saw Endgame, he was the guy who snapped the fingers. If you saw I did it backwards, didn't I? The Infinity Saga. Okay, yeah, I did it backwards, but you know, Jim Starlin, he was the guy who created Thanos back in his when he was writing Iron Man, and he debuted in Iron Man 55, which is one of the very few comics that I'm trying to find, but it's so expensive. This guy fights, and the thing is, he fights like gods, and he don't care. He's almost immortal too. By this book, he's almost immortal. Lady, Mistress Death, right there. Well, actually, Death, right there. He spent half of his life trying to court her, and then after he got her, you're like, whatever. I just like to chase. I want to destroy everything. I want to be the most powerful person. And as soon as he gets that power, he's like, he's the kind of guy who loves that chase. Okay. Now, the thing is, this book is kind of crazy. Basically, the universe, something big is going to happen in the universe, and he's the guy who's going to actually save it. Imagine one of the baddest villains in the Marvel universe actually saves the universe. That's the twist in that whole thing. Because everybody who comes across him knows something's going to bad is going to happen. And believe me when I say this book was fucking awesome. Well, for me it was, because I'm a big Thanos fan, and believe me, if one of my best friends found this book, he'll probably steal it. That's why I didn't tell him I bought it. That's why I didn't tell him I bought it. Because if he did, give me a copy. Let me borrow your copy. I won't see it forever. But anyway, I read these 4 books. As you can tell, since I like these 4 books, they get placed. So what happened is, I read 4 books that I actually enjoyed reading. Not a bad book. I mean, some books, it's not for everybody. But some books are not for everybody, because not everybody's going to like exactly what you like. You know. But that's the way how life is. Some people I'm not a big sports fan, but I know some people who die hard for sports. This one kid I know, he skipped his classes for spring opening day. There's people I know who there's 2 guys in my office who, when the Detroit Tigers play opening day, they take off that day. Lions opener, well, it's on Sundays. They're gone. But anyway, with that, I want to say thank you for watching this. And if you like if any of these books interest you, go ahead and try them out. If you have the Marvel Unlimited app, which you can read almost every comic, I'm pretty sure those comics are there. If you can find those books, most of those books I bought full price because I wanted them and I didn't care. If you can find them cheaper, go ahead and buy it cheaper. I can't think of anything else. So, I want to say thank you. I want to watch that Scorpion movie again. Dang it. Oh well. But anyways, this is Thursday night. Weekend's coming up. I hope you have a great weekend. And hopefully Saturday I might have 3 other books I have read. There's one book I'm definitely going to have to read. There's a Star Wars book I'm going to have to read. I'm definitely going to, because I do love Star Wars. But anyway. Hope you guys take me later. Sorry, I hope you guys do. Dang it. I hate this damn weather because it's driving me crazy. Last 2 days it was 90 degrees. Now it's today is 60 something. it's like 70 something. Last night it was like in this, like 60 something. So it was like cold after being sweating your balls off. But anyway, have a cheers to your here. Oh my gosh! Sometimes one day I wonder why I don't edit. But then again, I guess you guys enjoy when I screw up what I'm going to say. But anyway, cheers and enjoy yourself, and I hope you have a great day.